Do you like bugs, or are you afraid of bugs? I'm going to share a very unique spiritual gift that I found inside of one of my clients' Akashic records, in case it opened up and unlocked something for you as well, or heals something for you. And I went into her energy field. I went down into this grassy area, shrunk very small, walked through this portal, came out on the other side in this mountain, met with a mantis being, not a mantis here on Earth. This is a very high frequency, knowledgeable, wise insect humanoid species. And I have one of them on my spirit team as well. They were explaining that she is a insect bug communicator. When we are looking at the insects that are here on the earth plane, they have this network of connectivity where they are able to bring some really profound insights and healing, and much like the underworking networks of trees and mushrooms where they're all able to speak with one another, so are insects, even if they are different species. And I was saying that one of the ways that she could develop this, and why she needs to, but one of the ways that she can develop it is by going outside and putting out the intentions that she wants to speak with whatever type of insects are available and would like to speak back to her. And when you do that, it changes out your perceptual lenses, and you start really paying attention to them that are around you. And the more you place energy and attention on something, the more you get, or the more you get of it. And the more that they will intentionally start trying to speak with you. And I started doing this, I would notice them all the time, everywhere, where I wouldn't have in the past. Especially when I'm walking, I will look down for no reason. If there's a reason, there's an intuitive nudge, and I notice that there's one right under my foot, and instead of accidentally stepping on it, I can walk over it instead. But that happens all the time now. Or if I have my back against a tree, or I'm just sitting outside, I'm taking notice of them. Sometimes it's just to appreciate them, and other times I'm really connecting with them to ask some questions or gain some new knowledge and some insight, because they see everything. Okay, they are out here. They are connected to the trees and the mushrooms and the animals, and they're extra sets of eyes. Okay. One of the reasons that this was being brought to her attention is because most of the things that we have on Earth are reflections of other things out in the cosmos and out in the ethers. So there are a lot of planetary systems that are made out of insectoid, humanoid beings, and they have been around for a very, very long time. And bugs have been on Earth for a very, very long time. Okay, ancient beings. She not only has the ability to connect with bugs on this plane, but also the cosmic etheric ones as well. And I went into her field. I noticed that there was a lot of fears in reference to bugs and insects in the first place. And her higher self was explaining that oftentimes those fears are not always rational. One is from programming, because of TV shows and movies, and bugs are kind of alien-esque looking in the first place. And we have some deep programming around things that look different from us, are dangerous, or out to get us. So that is some work that we have to do on our end on releasing those things if you do want access to these different type of cosmic being versions. She was saying that back in the day, when we were cave persons, that bugs were way, 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 way bigger. And they were much more of a danger and a threat. And that was encoded into our DNA ancestrally, kind of like if you have never had any negative experiences with snakes, but you still have these really intense visceral reactions when you think about them, or if you see them out in nature, that's because it's part of your DNA sequencing. And when we are aware of that conscientiously, and you ask for that to release out of your sequencing, it really starts to unravel. I had this really intense fear of wasps ever since I was little, because I grew up on a farm and I used to get stung all the time. But that's also because anytime I was around them, I would get really frantic and be screaming and running around, and then they would get agitated and they would be scared, and then it was just both of us kind of being in a panic tornado with one another. As I got deeper into my ascension journey, I started to have a newfound respect for all creatures, no matter what they look like. But I really started to work on my relationship with wasps and bees and yellow jackets and things of that nature, and they don't bother me anymore. One flew across my face the other day like this, and I was like, sir, if you'll just stay over there and I'll stay over here, we can mind our own business. But it's a different type of mutual respect now, and that we need to honor, you know, all types of beings. And the reason that I say that is because she has this spiritual gift where there are a lot of tutors that she could pull into her field and learn and grow with, or astral project to these different planetary systems with these bug insectoid beings, and really expand her knowledge and wisdom and be a advocate for them here on the earth plane. But if those deep internal fears are running, it is going to create some blockages. And so I suggested, how about we start with some bugs that we think are cute here on this plane? Maybe butterflies or caterpillars, worms, you know, ladybugs. And you can either pay attention to them when you're outside walking around, or you can do some guided meditations or read about them as spirit animals, or look at pictures online, kind of just start to desensitize and deprogram yourself and find that new appreciation for the ones that you enjoy now, and it will expand as you get further along. Because a lot of them, like I said, are very alien-esque looking, and it's very jarring to our central nervous system. For me, I always thought praying mantis were really creepy, and they just kind of like freaked me out a little bit. And one of my spirit guides is a praying mantis being, and he really helps me in a lot of areas of my life. But my inner children were so incredibly afraid of them. And one day I went into meditation and I met with that mantis being, and part of me was very scared, my inner children, and I asked it if it could show up to me in a human form instead. And it did. And I brought my inner child forward and I said, is that being scary? And they're like, no, it just looks like a person. And I was like, okay, great. And then I asked it to get down like teeny, tiny, like so incredibly small, so she could hold it in her hand. But it was, you know, the size that was like so silly because it was so small. And I said, is this scary? And she was like, no. And then we incrementally got him bigger. And at the end of it, she was like, no, I feel safe. He's so nice and so sweet. And that really helped me with deprogramming with other type of bugs and insects as well. But he was a really fundamental key piece in my growth and my evolution, so I appreciate him. But I had to kind of desensitize myself to that to be able to have access to him, and also to be able to have access to these types of beings and other people's Akashic records as well, because I've met a lot of people that have these type of spirit guides but don't have that connection because of those fears. And so I wanted to share this today in case it gives you some insights about those ancestral fears that may not be serving us anymore, that we can conscientiously start to release and let go of, so that we can have more access to these really awesome cosmic beings, but also the cool bugs that are here on Earth as well. Like I said, you can start to go to like a butterfly garden, or if you go to like a horticultural place that teaches about bugs, sometimes they have them where, you know, they're in these different habitats that you can safely be around, where they're not going to jump on you. Or simply start with guided meditations and connect with the consciousness of the insect first. That's a great way, or a window into that form of connection. Oh my gosh, my words. Love to hear in the comments if this unlocked and activated something for you or brought you some healing, and I hope you have a super magical day.